major political surprise, by the way, from Capitol Hill just a little while ago. The veteran West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin announcing he will not seek re-election, a move which could have real implications.
But what I will be doing is traveling the country and speaking out to see if there is an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring Americans together.
All right, so the senator has been thought to be toying with a possible independent presidential run. Mick, there's that, and then there's the Senate. Let's start with the top of the ticket. What do you take of what he just said there?
He's desperate to run for president. He
As the third party.
He thinks he's the third party, the no labels candidate. He absolutely does. He's 76 years old. Haven't we talked on the show just about once a week for the last 6 months over how people in Washington are too old? He's just turned 76, and he's talking now about running for president. I think it's an ego thing. He knows he can't win in West Virginia. There's no chance he can get more than 3 or 4% as a national candidate. It's sort of sad to see. He needs to ride off in the sunset and go be the president of West Virginia University, which is what retired senators are supposed to do.
But let me ask you this. If he is the no labels top of the ticket.
3%, 4%.
But that's consequent. I mean, he won't win a state, obviously, not even come close, but that could shift an election.
Draws evenly between both Republicans and Democrats.
So?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I also think that,
Republicans hate him and Democrats hate him. I mean, they just do.
Manchin actually draws more from Republicans right now with the polls. And I mean, he's not traveling to secure a corporate gig, so he's probably going to make some inroads.
Yeah, I mean, like with Senator Manchin, I think it was pivotal to us, the Democratic Party, getting and expanding the Senate majority. With his retirement, it makes it much harder for us to keep the majority. In fact, it's almost impossible at this rate.
You think impossible. So let's jump off from there. Democrats in 2024 in the Senate, they must defend Montana, Ohio, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Arizona. Hold all of those seats, assuming now that West Virginia is
What I
gone.
hope progressives learn from this is that as much as they wanted to attack and criticize and hate on Joe Manchin, he's the reason we had the Senate majority for the last 2 cycles. And so, you know, I think we need to demonstrate, we need to be careful about the way we attack our more moderate members of the Democratic Party, because we are a big tent party. This is how you get a majority in order to govern. And I think, you know, this is a big loss for the Democratic Party, I think. And I hope he does legitimately go out in the country and talk to voters and show them the diversity in the Democratic Party, diversity among ideology, diversity of the backgrounds they come from, and the people of which they represent.
But I think Mick is right. He was not going to win. And there's a disconnect. He's kind of to Washington establishment now. And I actually think Democrats need to learn from this. And we need to have working class people. We need to have really good candidates.
To your point about drawing from Republicans, I'm a Republican. In my mind, he's the reason the Inflation Reduction Act passed. He's the reason all the big COVID spending bills passed. He's the reason the health insurance bill passed.
This is my message to progressives.
I know it is, but it's not a message for getting Republican voters to move away from Donald Trump.
And the other benefit for him coming out is that Republicans can save a lot of money, because even though Manchin was not going to win, he is popular enough that it would have been expensive, and now we can.
And I think he would have stayed if Jim Justice's primary would have been a little more competitive, but I think Justice is going to get the nomination. He's friends with Jim Justice. They've been longtime friends, and Jim Justice used to be a Democrat, switched parties a couple years ago.